Have you ever had one of those dreams where you feel like you're literally floating above your own body, looking down? Well, today we're diving into that exact feeling, the out-of-body experience, and what science is telling us about your brain's own secret camera.
Now, that is not a line from a sci-fi movie. It's a real quote from someone describing what it feels like to have an out-of-body experience. And it's that shocking, kind of gut punch feeling, that sensation of your consciousness literally detaching that we're going to unpack today.
I mean, seriously, just pause and think about that for a second. What if your whole point of view just shifted? One moment you're you, the next you're floating up by the ceiling, watching yourself down below. It's a wild thought, and it's a central mystery we're getting into.
Okay, so let's get right into it. To really wrap our heads around this, we have to start with what people who've actually gone through it say it feels like. And you'd be amazed at how consistent these stories are. Yeah, this is not some vague, fuzzy dream. People all over the world report a surprisingly similar chain of events. It usually kicks off with this feeling of lifting away from their body. Then something really weird happens. They get this dual perspective, like they're seeing from inside and outside their body at the same time. And the craziest part for many? They say the world looks hyper-real, even sharper and more vivid than normal eyesight.
Now, you might think this is a pretty modern idea, something that came up recently. But nope. The idea of an inner eye, a way of seeing beyond our physical senses, is an ancient human fascination. It goes back for thousands of years.
And it is everywhere. You see it in ancient Egypt with the Eye of Horus, which was all about seeing beyond the material world. You see it thousands of years ago in Hindu and Buddhist traditions with the Ajna chakra, and it pops up all through Western history right into our modern era. The big takeaway here is that cultures all across time have been trying to describe this exact same powerful feeling. Which brings us to the big question, right? For most of human history, this was framed as a spiritual journey. But now, neuroscience has a totally different take on it. So, what is it? A doorway to another reality? Or just a really fascinating glitch in the software running in our heads? All right, let's get into the mechanics of this thing. Science isn't saying these experiences aren't real, it's just offering a different explanation for how they happen. And it all boils down to one specific part of your brain that acts like its own internal camera. So meet the star of our show, the temporoparietal junction, or TPJ for short. The easiest way to think about it is as your brain's own little orientation chip. Its one job is to constantly grab all the data coming in from your eyes, your sense of touch, your balance, and stitch it all together to create that one simple feeling, I am right here. But what happens if that chip glitches? Well, under extreme stress or deep meditation, or even just as you're falling asleep, your brain can get conflicting signals. The TPJ basically throws its hands up. It can't make sense of the data. So it does something absolutely incredible. To fix the problem, it just generates a whole new point of view, usually somewhere outside the body, where everything makes sense again. This drone analogy is honestly the perfect way to picture it. Your brain isn't just hallucinating or making things up out of thin air. Not at all. It's just switching its camera mode. It's going from the first-person view you're used to a third-person drone view of the exact same scene. It's the same 3D model of the world your brain always uses, just seen from a different angle. You see, that feeling of being in your body isn't a given. It's something your brain has to build, second by second. It's mixing together signals about where your body is in space with all your internal feelings. But the king of all these senses, the main anchor holding everything together, is vision. And if you can just trick that visual anchor, the whole system can get thrown out of whack. And what's really wild is that your brain is already wired for this. It actually keeps two different body maps running all the time. There's the first-person, player model you use to walk around, and there's a third-person, observer model you use when you think about how other people see you. An out-of-body experience? That's just what happens when those two models glitch and fall out of sync, and your consciousness hops from the player to the observer. So let's pull all these threads together for our final section and look at how these two very different explanations, science and spirituality, might actually be describing the very same thing. And this is really the aha moment. The spiritual explanation says my consciousness left my body. The scientific explanation says my brain relocated its simulated point of view. But listen, the experience is exactly the same. They're just two different languages, one spiritual, one neurological, trying to describe the same incredible human event. So what should you take away from all this? Well, an out-of-body experience is almost never random. It's your brain sending you a powerful signal.
It might be telling you that you're in physical danger, or simply that its sensory inputs have gone haywire. Maybe it happens when your mind wakes up a little faster than your body, or if you're meditating, it could be a sign that your very sense of self is starting to expand.
And that leaves us with one last kind of mind-bending thought to chew on. If science is right, and that feeling of being inside your head is just a simulation your brain is running, a useful trick to help you navigate the world, well, if that simulation can be moved, if your entire point of view can just be relocated to the corner of the room, then where are you really?